On the streets of Israel, police went door to door making sure that anyone who has crossed paths with a COVID-19 patient is in home isolation. They got their information from cell phone tracking, a technology developed to fight terrorism.
After the government decision that was made about using more tools in terms of finding those individuals, we now are going to use the capabilities of tracking individuals on their phone. That, in fact, has only been used in the last few years here in Israel when we have dealt with terrorism, trying to find terrorists who are on their way to terrorist attacks. But if necessary, we will use that tool as well.
Israeli security professionals say they are aware of the legitimate concerns about privacy, but the coronavirus is a national emergency.
We see what is happening around the world. We see what might happen in Israel. People are dying. Thousands of people are going sick. I think that the definition of national security is the right definition.
In addition to the police and Shin Bet operations, Israel's outgoing defense minister Naftali Bennett proposed a comprehensive tracking plan involving the private Israeli company NSO, which has been sued by Amnesty International and the messaging service WhatsApp for human rights and privacy violations. However, the plan was rejected by the Parliament's Security Committee.
We need more than great technology in order to secure our democracy. When I was in the Shin Bet, we discussed and we created what we call a code of ethics. I don't know private companies. I don't know this specific private company, but I know for sure that in order for me to feel good about giving it to somebody else, I want to know exactly what is his code of ethics.
Civil rights groups challenged the emergency measures in the Supreme Court, which ordered the Shin Bet to stop the operation at the end of May unless approved by the parliament. Government officials claim the surveillance helped them find 5,500 people who were infected with the coronavirus and place them in isolation.
Surveillance is bad as a general issue, but it's even worse when it is being done by the Secret Service, and the reason for that is the supervision and and transparency. We want to make sure that only the very necessary data is being collected. We want to make sure that no one who is not supervised and authorized has access to the data. We want to know that there aren't any, I would say, side uses in the data, for example, to train machine learnings and so on and so forth. We want to make sure that all this data is going to be erased when the coronavirus is over.
Israel's Arab citizens are especially concerned that the information gathered could be used to discriminate against their community.
Those regulations may create bad precedent on the future that will allow the security intelligence to follow the citizens, to tape them for other reasons, and to use it against some citizens because of their political opinion and because of their national belonging.
The coronavirus pandemic is playing an important role in Israeli politics. The new unity government formed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and rival Benny Gantz bills itself as an emergency government formed to fight corona. There are widespread protests against the new government, which charge that Netanyahu is exploiting the coronavirus crisis for political purposes and in order to avoid his upcoming corruption trial. And as the threat from the coronavirus seems to be waning, at least for now, some in Israel say it's time to stop using surveillance on Israeli citizens and return it to its role in fighting terrorism. Linda Gradstein for VOA News, Jerusalem.